Nem Dan and Che be chillin' in Miss Berries eating A on this project. This project is on muscle movement. Please forgive me. Flexion is a real bone movement. Extension, the opposing movement. Rotation, longitudinal axis. Adduction, limbs to the midline. Abduction, moves them farther away. Circumduction combines four movements. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Opposition involves a saddle joint movement. Flexion moves two bones closer. Sagittal plane it's using involves ball and socket joints, and also the hinge joints. Extension opposes flexion, still sagittal plane increases angle between bones, makes those limbs straighten. When the angle between bones goes over 180, that's hyperextension. Next up, rotation, longitudinal axis, uses ball and socket joints. Atlas and axis can do rotation. Neck rotating, axis rolling. Flexion is a real bone movement. Extension, the opposing movement. Rotation, longitudinal axis. Adduction, limbs to the midline. Abduction, moves them farther away. Circumduction combines four movements. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Opposition involves the saddle joint movement. Abduction brings the limbs farther away from the midline. The plane only coronal or frontal. Adduction, the opposite, same plane slope. It's when you bring the limbs midline, bro. Now circumduction combines four other movements. Flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction. Proximal part of the limb stationary. Distal end moves in a circular cone outline. Ball and socket joints, you could do this from the shoulder. Flexion is a real bone movement. Extension, the opposing movement. Rotation, longitudinal axis. Adduction, limbs to the midline. Abduction, moves them farther away. Circumduction combines four movements. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Opposition involves a saddle joint movement. Here's dorsiflexion. Points leftward to the shin. It's just an upward motion, baby. Also called a backward flexion. Next up, opposite of dorsiflexion. Plantar flexion, toes point to the ground. Downward motion of the foot, toes down low. Both dorsiflexion plantar can be done by the feet. Opposition uses saddle joint for touching other fingers, thumb and digits being brought together. Uses movements to grasp other objects. Types of movement now you know, Miss Berry. Flexion is a real bone movement. Extension, the opposing movement. Rotation, longitudinal axis. Adduction, limbs to the midline. Abduction, moves them farther away. Circumduction combines four movements. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Opposition involves a saddle joint movement.